On today's video, it's finally time to push for some power on the jumper, introduce it to you guys, talk about the early game, what you should be focusing on, and show you kind of what I've been doing in the past week or so on this account. So if you're looking to build a new account, you're brand new to Rise of Kingdoms, want to know what to do, this is the early game. This is City Hall, pretty much 0 all the way to wherever we end up in this video. So yeah, sit back, drop a like on the video. Yeah. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Gekko Gaming. I can finally start working on this jumper with you guys. It is time. Before we start though, I'm a sponsored content creator by Rise of Kingdoms, and if you enjoy the content, make sure you slap a like on the video and of course, subscribe to the channel down below. This is the first official video of a series of this free-to-play jumper account. That's right, we're gonna follow this account from A to Z, everything you need to know, and you really haven't missed much, so make sure you're subscribed down below so you know when the next video comes out. We do Rise of Kingdoms daily content every single day. Anyway, so I kind of did that jumper guide, which if you haven't seen it, card up on the top right, to start off this series. And now we're at a point where I'm 383,000 power. I'm City Hall 12, and I've kind of just been pushing through. The early part of the game, it's crucial for you to be able to push up as quickly as possible to tier 2s and start training a lot of tier 2s. The reason for that is in the early game, you can get bullied very quickly. There are people who are new to Rise of Kingdoms. Maybe you're new, you want to attack, you want to try things. The first thing you want to do in the game is to start building up your City Hall, and you want to do that by using building speed ups to get your buildings up as much as possible, and of course keep up with your academy level, because the academy is how you train tier 2s. Right now we're working towards our tier 3s, and that's where I will be spending my training speed ups. Now you can spend your training speed ups early on tier 2s, but quite frankly, the tier 3s are a bit more useful, and the jump between tier 3s and tier 4s is very important, but it'll take some time. And so I will be focusing more on the tier 3 aspect right now, because we are just running late on a bunch of things. Let's start cranking up the speed in here. We are going to have to wait for some helps as is. So there is City Hall 13. With that comes one step ahead once again. We're going to keep that, unfortunately, for a different life. We do not spend money on this account as a free-to-play account. Let's go look at what we need to do next. I know we need a line center in the trading post already. The Alliance Center is on its way, and for the trading post, we're going to need a bunch of things, because if I'm not mistaken, you're going to need the gold mine to get the trading post done. For now, because the trading post is in such a low level, we're going to get 1 help, 2 helps, and level it up, but we're going to have to work our way all the way to the top. So what I've been doing is, first and foremost, I've been keeping my academy at a decent level so I can continually keep researching. You don't want to forget that level on the academy, even though it's not necessarily required until for a fairly later level on your City Hall. You want to keep up with it so you have more researches available. And so the name of the game is, you got to focus on 3 things at the early game in Rise of Kingdoms. First and foremost, you're focusing on your City Hall, obviously. The second thing you want to focus on is on your academy. You want to make sure that you're always running researches. And the third thing is the training buildings, and these are very important because the higher level they are, the more troops you can train, which means you can have more downtime away from the game without having to come back to train, and essentially you're utilizing your time better. That's the 3 focuses early on. However, I wouldn't necessarily push these buildings too much early on. First of all, focus on your City Hall. As you can see, City Hall, I believe 12 required archery range, and City Hall 11 required stable. So you can eventually get to a point where you're doing these as part of your City Hall. I haven't really gotten to a point beyond City Hall 7 where barracks were required to push that, and I pushed my siege work all the way up to 7 because once more, we want to crank those sieges out for gathering. Now, in this account, we got a little bit lucky. Ladies and gentlemen, because there was a bug. Some sort of weird bug happened, and we received, awesome. And we received this message right here. All the fog will be cleared due to some server error, no more fog. sorry about that. And so we leveled up our scout level to level 11, so we have 3 scouts to go scout around for fog, and now it's done. At this stage of the game, most of you will have to defog the map. I have a full video on how to defog, which will be carded up on the top right in case you want to know what are the small tips and tricks and advice along the way on how to defog the map quickly, not necessarily most efficiently, but quickly for sure. And then from there, you can work on your finalizing the map if that's what you choose to do. So as we keep cranking the buildings, we have, I believe we should have enough helps. We're gonna wait a little bit for the helps to go through, but we got a bunch of other things to do in the meantime. During the first period of this kingdom, we went through and hunted for 226 bone necklaces. Now, I did not hunt with AP. I saved my AP potions. I hunted with my free AP only for now. The bone necklaces are important, but as a free-to-play player, I really want to focus on the first KVK barbarians that are coming up, because those will give us a ginormous amount of arrowheads, which we will really need, and a lot of gems and a lot of things along the way. It's not a bad thing to spend your AP on the necklaces on a Lohar's Trial. Lohar's Trial is one of the best ways for you to spend your AP early on to get yourself a lot of arrowheads. So when we open this, you're gonna see from 226, we got 366 arrows of resistance, which are gonna be crucial and very important to level up our watchtower, which is required to get those tier 5s at the end of the day. We picked up a bunch of speed ups along the way and resources, which is awesome. Lots of Lohars along the way for us to proc with our alliance. As a matter of fact, let me just make sure we have a castle level 6, which is not terribly high. We could level it up a little bit more just to get ourselves a little extra juice. But for now, you know what? I'm fairly confident we can just go ahead and do like a regular Lohar. And with that, show you guys a little bit of our commander's situation. So we have been Loharing with our alliance, and we have unlocked at this stage all of these commanders. And what I've done is I've leveled up my peacekeepers to 3 stars as well as Sun 2. The reason I've done that, and as I mentioned that, let me very quickly put another commander in here and get us cranking. We're gonna take out all these tier 1s to make some space for our alliance mates, and let's do this. So we launch an attack in here, and while we do that, let's explain to you what we did with our commanders. I have a ton of gold keys we're gonna open in this video together, but for now, what I have is a few things. I got Sun Tzu to a 3-star level. The reason for that is once you hit 3 stars, the commander can now take a secondary commander out for a march, and this is how we got all of the rest of our commanders that are of any significance for us right now to the maximum level they can get. Our gatherers, we instantly brought up to 2 stars. The reason for that being primarily because most of them have their gathering skill as their second skill. And to make matters even better, the more we level these guys up, the more of the talent tree we can use. Our dream right now is in the early game to get to the more the better fast, because that'll give us an extra 6% resources for free. So the goal was we make our gatherers a high level, level 20, which is as far as we want to go without expertising per se this skill of gathering. And then from there, we go towards the rest of our epic commanders, all of which are working their way up. And as they're doing so, we're getting them to their top level. Once we get their first skill done, we're going to go ahead and level them up, set up all their talents and all that good stuff. With that being said, we have a couple of alliance mates on their way to here. We should be good to go with this Lohar. Let's go on to check really quickly what's our alliance helps level looking like. And if we maximize them, let's go ahead and finish up these buildings and go to the next building. We're not going to waste any time. We're just going to keep cranking buildings on this video, and more to come. And most likely what I'll do is I'll probably cut a little bit to the future and show you guys kind of where we ended up. I am using generic speed ups to push up this process a little bit. It is not necessarily the most efficient and most recommended thing to do. However, I do want to push up my progress a little bit because I am currently in the I believe it's not anymore. We're one of the biggest alliances in this game. We're the second one in terms of strength right now. And so BS Blood Syndicate in here with a gift level 7. And I believe ours is 8 as well. These guys are spending in here. And I want to keep up my power so I can stay. So at the long run, the bottom line is you want to potentially not use these generic speed ups for building. You want to let these buildings go through. But if you're someone who's trying to keep up with a big alliance, it is worth it for you to spend a little bit of those extra speed ups to make sure you can keep up. We're going to push up. We're a little bit behind. We're quite a bit behind. And I'd like to at least close the gap as much as possible in the next couple of days to ensure that we are not a burden. At this stage, we are working our way to City Hall 14, and let's do what I like to do the most with you guys, which is open a bunch of gold keys. We got a bunch of gold and silver keys, 75 and 80 to be exact. We're going to start cranking these up. We'll do a little bit of 1x1s. We'll do a little bit of, at the end, a little bit of open all. Maybe we'll do like 30 1x1s and then the rest open all at a 40. But the reason I'm opening these is because I really need the commander sculptures. There is an achievement which requires of you to open 201 gold keys at once. But in the early game, hoarding gold keys is probably not the best idea unless you're a big spender and you're getting those there, it's a Frederick the First, our first Frederick. We unlock Frederick. What do you know? Even on these videos, we get a little bit of a legendary commander action along the way. What do you know? So at this stage, for me, it is crucial. 3 Cleopatras, a gold star. My goodness. It's crucial for me to build up these commanders a lot more than it is to get the achievement at this point in time. More Boudikas, the better. We're really trying to unlock as many... I have nothing to do with all this. I'm just saying, I got nothing to do with what you guys are watching. I'm clicking the button. Content creators redeem code of 2020, I'm telling you. But anyway, you really can't make this stuff up. Well, content creators redeem code is made up. Don't try it. Anyway, we're trying to crank up, get a lot of these commanders out, get a little bit of that power going, get these commanders to a level where we can start being efficient on the battlefield, we can start being efficient gathering, we can start leveling up our commanders and figure things out. I was gonna keep going. We'll pretend like you guys are not just watching me opening 30 gold keys and get over 30 legendary commanders. Although, quite frankly, at the early game, this happens quite a bit. All right, moving on. Moving on. What is going on? I mean, you just open all 40 and just get us. Oh my goodness gracious! How many of these did we? Oh my god! That's 20, 25, 30, 35, 44 out of 40. Damn! And lots of commanders. Epic commanders are good. The blue commanders are good for us too. Unfortunately, we don't get greens out of this. So we're going to open all of our silvers too, just to get all of these blues and greens out of the way. We really need blues and greens right now for the gathering. Let's go crank up our commanders, help our alliance mates, and go make sure that we're still building everything we can build. And yeah, these videos are going to be something like this, just kind of to show you how the progress is, how it goes, what it does, give you tips and tricks along the way. Let's go look at our commander's situation. Oof, we can summon Sundok. Let's summon Scipio, and we might as well summon Sundok too. Not that we'll be able to get this Rider of History or any of the 3. The free-to-play life. Chat. Hashtag free to play in the comments down below. I feel the pain. I feel it. I understand a little bit more of it. I can't say I fully understand it, but I get it. I'm starting to get it. Let's get these commanders leveled up. Whatever we can star up, we will as well. I don't think we're getting to a point where we can star up anything just yet. But at least getting these commanders up a little bit more is good news and good hopes for us. Belisarius is almost there. He can get almost to his 2 stars fairly soon. Nothing in here. Yulji Mundok, we know we have a couple. Ooh, we have a lot of Boudikas. Nice. 1 more to go on this Boudica. Level 4. I'm probably going to just do that. Yep. get her to that level 4. She's super useful. Very good commander early on. We can crank up some of these gatherers. This is what I wanted. Good gathering skill. Keep that gathering skill going. Forget about that first skill. Let's go for the second. Nice. Come on, baby. Give me one more of those. Nice. And a third one. Ooh, okay. A 3, 4. If that was a 5, I would have cranked them right back up to level 3 to 3-star. Not today. It's okay. We keep going. We building up these commanders. That's pretty much the beginning of the game. If I were to give you one important suggestion is try to get that first skill done on most commanders before you start leveling them up. As you can see, our brave Lancelot can take a 2nd-star situation. So let's go ahead and crank him up to a 2nd star. I could have tried to crit to unlock a 3rd star for essentially less stars, but we're going to talk about that in a future video. Right now, we're just going to go the old conventional way of just leveling these guys up. Now I have something I can train, which is fantastic. Tomo. Damn, we picked up a lot of Tomos. Tomo is also going to get herself 1 more star. So, well, she needs levels, so we're going to leave that for now. We have books of knowledge to spare, but I have enough AP and time to grind the training, so why not? As you can see, our 3-star Peacekeeper is going on her 1st skill in Ham. This is what we wanted. We wanted that 2nd skill leveled up. 1st skill maxed out. That's actually hilarious, and it's actually working its way in the order. What do you know? Cool. Let's keep leveling up all these commanders really quickly, and that's pretty much what I have for you guys. I'm gonna probably cut a little bit to the future where you guys get to see a little bit of the end result of tonight. I'm not gonna keep you guys sitting here and watching as I click through all of these things. In general, the bottom line here is early on, try to crank your way up to tier 2s, even to tier 3s, to make sure you keep up with your power, with your training, with not wasting time when you're asleep and not training and not researching and not leveling stuff up. We have research speed ups available, which we will use to crank up these these researches as well. I'll use 1 minute here just because I have to just get it done. Let's level up our trading. I'll keep doing this forever, I swear. Let's level up our trading post even further. The only thing that I would say about opening gold keys that is potentially a small thing you should consider for the future, and I took this in account, but it might not necessarily be for everybody what I just did. What you want to make sure is you want to try to open your gold keys when the Lucerne scroll is further in its weeks. The reason for that is what you're watching right now. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 weeks worth of different quests that I finished from the 1 key opening. There's going to be more of these on week 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8. So you really want to make sure you're essentially doing these quests with the same exact gold and silver keys. Why would you have to potentially hoard and go through this hassle of not finishing a quest because you didn't have enough keys by rushing it a bit too much? For me, it wasn't a rush. I needed to get it done. As you saw, our commanders were all leveled up to their top tier. And now we can, we have this as well. And now we can definitely get to a point where we can start leveling some commanders up. We can start using them and training them. And that's where I was aiming at this point in time. With that being said, let's cut to the future where I'll show you a little bit of the progress and then we'll call it for this video. So as we keep working our way up, we got more buildings to finish. We finished our Alliance Center and now working through the wall, which needs to be upgraded pretty much at every level of City Hall. That constitutes a quarry and then the tavern, and from there the wall. I will always click that damn button instead of the speed up button. If you guys do the same, drop a like on the video and comment down below. Let me know that you guys have the same struggle. Oh, there go 3 minutes. Oh well. Have the same struggle of always clicking the stupid Lucerne scroll button. Instead, we now need to get our gold mine up as well. Get these out of the way. And while we wait for that, we got a bunch of stuff that I forgot to open. So we got a ton of rewards we got from different things we did in game, from supply boxes, from the current strategic reserves, and from there magic boxes. We got some treasure of the caves and all that good stuff. Let's open all of this up. Now that we don't have fog, we can crank these out into 5-minute speed ups. Fantastic speed ups for us. Supply boxes are interesting. I'm not a big fan of spending AP on strategic reserves unless you're working towards 62 hours. Okay, unless you're working towards your Clio or Seondeok. In that case, you go ham. I would prefer spending AP in the early game on Lohar over on strategic reserves. Let's go ahead and open Treasure of the Cave. These we get from medium caves. We still got a bunch for us to go figure out and look at, but for now, 91 of those will give us some nice rewards. Elite Commander sculptures are great. 280 gems, 500 AP, a lot of resources, some speed ups, silver keys out the wazoo. Ooh, not bad at all. Not bad at all. 400 VIP. Nice. Let's crank these out of the way as well. And we can utilize the 50 keys, which we just did that a couple moments ago. We opened a bunch of silver keys. Can open even further to get more sculptures, speed ups, and all that good stuff out of the way. These building speed ups are crucial for us right now as we're powering through buildings, commanders, and all that good stuff. Let's go take a quick peek at what we got going on in here. Anything else? Well, we opened silver keys. We should be looking this way. Pelagius is almost there. We got one more skill on our Peacekeeper. Bam, there she goes. We got a bunch of these, which I guess we'll use on her first. Although we do have a Gathering Commander somewhere in there that we might want to spend that on. But Constance can definitely take all of these because that's what these are better used for in the beginning. We really want to get that Constance cranked up. Thankfully, we're getting some good results on the Gathering skill. Heck, if we get that 5th skill almost done, we get this 5th thing, we open up the next one. So we're going to keep cranking. I got completely distracted by building more and doing more things that I forgot that we also had the high-level treasure rewards to open. We're definitely going to crank those out of the way as well. Let's see what we get out of 53 of these. 14 Dazzling Starlight Sculptures. More speed ups. Oh, damn, that's a lot of AP. Some 3 gold keys. We'll go open those up. Epic Sculptures are great. Speed ups, 360 gems. More VIP points. We're going to crank those out of the way too. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm impressed. Let's open these. Treasure of the Warrior. We're starting early on picking up these materials and blueprints for future equipment. First and foremost, let's crank these out of the way. And then let's go open these 3 gold keys. Can we get a legendary commander again? I'm gonna laugh really hard if... Oh my god, if we do. Okay, half a commander. 5 Cao Caos. What else can we get out of this? Alright, so that was... I wouldn't have been surprised if another one comes out. I think we're all caught up in the bonuses and things we got to do. Let's crank up our VIP, see where we land with all of this. This will put us another 1,400 points ahead towards VIP 7. And I believe during the nearest More Than Gems event, we're going to crank up to VIP 10. I think that that's what's going to happen. So we'll see. But for now, let's keep pushing. We need more helps. We need more power. Well, unfortunately, I picked a time where my alliance was a little less active. And as much as I'd like to keep pushing, it's like 2 a.m. And quite frankly, I got to wake up tomorrow for a big trip. Well, by the time you guys are seeing this, I'm already back from the trip. But anyway, the point is, we pushed a little bit of power. We made it all the way to 514,000 power. I'm pretty confident that as soon as I'll get all of these helps, we're going to keep cranking up all the way up to at least City Hall. I believe we can make it to 15, even 16 with the speed ups we have. We have a decent amount of speed ups stacked up at this stage. Not only not building perhaps, but generic speed ups out the wazoo. I won't necessarily use all of them. I think that I'll use a big portion of them to get myself a little bit further up on the City Hall. The dream right now is to hit tier 3s as quickly as possible so we can start grinding the tier 3 training. But with that being said, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of a video where it's a little less of an edited, a little bit less of a specific informative video, but just more of a laid back progress on the account kind of video. I don't think we're going to be able to make much more of these. As the account grows, there will be less things to do at once. But for now, I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. I appreciate every single one of you who chilled through the first video of this free-to-play jumper. There are going to be more specific tips, tricks and all that good stuff videos coming up about the free-to-play account. I just want to occasionally give you an update video where we do some things together on the account so you can see where it stands. And from there, we're going to start cranking out all the tips and tricks, including top 5 things you should do in the early game, top 5 things you shouldn't be doing in the early game. We also have a bunch of tips and tricks on when to use AP correctly in the early game, what kind of speed ups and when to use them, and all that good stuff is coming into the channel as well. So make sure you subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Take care. Peace.